Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I wanted to discuss a topic that sometimes people have come into my coaching and requested from me, especially earlier on when I started offering coaching on YouTube 4 years ago. And I've gotten so many requests of, putting a spell on somebody, putting a hex on somebody, these kinds of requests. And I think people confuse me with somebody who, I don't know, dabbles into witchcraft, which I do not. What I do teach is energy work. Okay, so let me explain the difference. So, first of all, especially in the event of a hex, which is a very negative thing, okay? I've gotten a lot of requests and continue getting them from time to time where people say, this person has done me wrong, and sometimes it's an SP, sometimes it's a business partner, sometimes it's whoever, Um, and my response is always the same. There's better ways of operating, a more intelligent way, more sophisticated, and most importantly, a way that keeps your hands clean. This is very important in spiritual work. Very simple reason, okay? Well, number one, I think you need to understand that when you're going out of your way, especially in the hex, when you're going out of your way to cultivate an energy to harm somebody, you're going to harm yourself. Okay? So this, just remember, this is your 360 bubble. So if you're diving into these portals, everything is a portal, every feeling is a portal. So now imagine you have this kind of a tornado of energy swirling around you, in fact. Now, here's the deal. It might affect the other person if you do this, the hex I mean, short term, but only under these conditions. If the person is on a lower frequency themselves, and if they accept the invitation, meaning the invitation of the bad energy. Irregardless, though, as per the universal law, even if it, let's just say, does affect this person, and you've achieved, even if that person has done you harm. So this is the stupid way of doing things. Let's just be honest. And I'm going to explain to you the intelligent way of doing things. Let's just say it does harm that person. You go to a practitioner and you do whatever. It's so stupid, like I said. It ends up costing you way more, I mean, depending on what you've put out there. I mean, it could potentially cost you your life, you know what I mean? Because if you're wishing ill upon another, the universe will balance shit out. Eventually it will. It's just how it goes. And so even if it does cause that person harm temporarily, given that that person is still under universal laws, they will recover from this. And the blowback, and even worse if the person has done nothing to you, forget it. That's the end. If that person did not do anything to you, to harm you, much less witchcraft, much less if you have to lie to yourself and say this person did something to you, you've already lost this kind of situation. I think you need to really examine your mental health and why it is you think you want to, wish somebody ill. But even if that person did something, let's just say, I don't know, something that was not a hex, okay? Something that was in 3D and something that could potentially be solved if you just got off your high horse, in the spiritual realm or in the 3D realm, and let the universe figure out how this is going to turn into a golden nugget for you. Okay? This person is still protected under the universal law if they haven't gone out of their way, like some people that, try to make these requests with me, which I absolutely will never, I wouldn't even know what to do. And again, I will explain what I would do in a situation like this. You, by going out of your way to do a hex, you putting a hex on yourself. And again, this will return to you, God knows how many fold, tenfold, 1,000-fold, whatever. And if that person has never touched you energetically in a bad way, meaning like going out of their way to harm you somehow, again, I mean, the repercussions are even worse. And God forbid you're dealing with an empath, finito. Now let me let me explain to you how serious this shit is. Okay, you could potentially affect not just yourself, but everybody who's involved, kind of situation. Everybody who's involved, the practitioner, their family, your family. It goes all over, this kind of energy. The same deal when you spread love and when you give blessings and forgiveness and, try to do the best in life and just appreciate life. It spreads all around you also. So just keep that in mind. Now, here's the intelligent way of doing things, which has happened to me. It's not like I don't understand the sentiment. It's just very stupid to go about it, putting out energy that will inevitably return to you. Here's the intelligent way of doing it. Here's how I would do things, okay? And again, this has happened to me. Again, I just want to emphasize, I do understand how hurt you might be. But let's just take this situation. Somebody has fucked you over, done something, but now let's be very honest that they really did do something. It's not your interpretation. It's not your, you know what I mean? It's not just your mama drama panorama talking. That they really did do something that wasn't right. Okay? You don't need to do anything. You know what you do? That hurt and pain, and again, being honest here is key. Okay, that person deliberately chose to harm you, betray you, whatever. Okay? Every time somebody has done something like this to me, I always felt bad for them because it was clear to me that they did not understand what they were doing. It's exactly like what Jesus said, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. And they really don't know what they do, people like these, because all I had to do was to send the energy back. That's it. Just send the energy back. It's theirs to begin with. Whatever it might be, whether that's a hex, witchcraft, just a bad intention, bad thoughts. I'm at the evolution in my world, in my reality, and have been, kind of having this ability to read people's thoughts. I mean, I'm always tweaking my abilities as well, but I would just send it back. No need to engage. It's the last resort. You have to understand how much power you have. It is the absolute last resort. And you're going to have to consult. Just like on earth, there are courts in the spiritual realms as well. And you would need to get pre-authorization from the divine itself to go ahead and even, just have an approval from the divine to eradicate this person out of your life and say, by whatever means possible, kind of situation. Even that is extreme because the divine does not take any jokes. Let's just say this person, whatever, they're bothering you, they're harassing you, this, that, and the other, or they're doing something, you know what I mean? it has to, I believe, this is how I do things. What I believe is ethical is I always give the person the benefit of the doubt. That goes without saying. I give them a chance, maybe a second, maybe a third, depending on the situation. Okay. And then if they run out of chances, I just, I observe. I detach myself from this person. All right, this is who you are, and this is who I am. I don't want to mingle with your energy. It's clear to me who you are. Now let's see what you will do. If they do not stop, and I've had these situations where the people just go on the frenzy of some kind of a catastrophic, self-destruction, basically, in the spiritual and consequently in the 3D world. All I need to do again is not to participate, energetically speaking. What does that mean? Again, go back to this idea of forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. And I really feel sorry for you that you can't stop yourself, that you can't stop yourself from your own demise. Because this energy is never going to affect me, you say to yourself. I'm just sending this. I see your energy. I see it from over here. I see what you're all about. But that story is about you. It's not about me. So when you're vibing high, for the lack of better verbiage or explanation, and you're unwilling to be affected, discouraged, tainted, provoked, triggered by that energy, you've already won. You've already won. As a human being, of course, it's uncomfortable to, deal with certain people and this and that and the other. But like I'm telling you, I've had so many experiences where I thanked the Lord, okay, and the angels above that I had the wisdom of mind to never do such a thing, like a hex or sending somebody bad energy, just sending them their own bullshit back, okay? I have the saying on my predecessor channel, it's linked below, the handle is magic and miracles. Just give people back their bullshit. That's all you have to do. You don't have to create your own bullshit to then send that bullshit to that person. It's your fucking bullshit. Okay? I think just like everything in manifestation, in this situation, if you really focus on the end goal and you understand that everything I just told you is complete truth, which is that everything you throw out does return to you, that the divine knows very well how to orchestrate the worst revenge, in quotations, if you want to call it that. You wouldn't even dream of it. You will, if you let the universe play out the balancing out act, you will be so happy that you did nothing. Because if you had like gotten in there in the middle of it, it wouldn't be that, it wouldn't be able to create the magical outcome that will blow your mind, kind of deal. So if you're frustrated, I get it. Like some people, I've gotten so many people in my coaching where they told me, Anna, literally somebody put a hex on me, somebody cursed me, somebody blah, blah, blah. Only if you accept it, darling. Only if you're on the same frequency and if you believe that this person can affect you. That person cannot affect you. They can only affect themselves. Okay? Other things may be affecting you as a result of believing in the shit, but that person is powerless in your world. Now, let me jump ahead and talk a little bit about love spells, as in the witchcraft version. Okay, I have something that I call magic spells on my channel, as well as a package that I introduced, I believe, a couple years ago. But what I call a magic spell is completely different. It's a very powerful intention that aligns you with that timeline in which, let's just say, your specific person is already madly gaga for you, kind of deal. What you don't want to do, okay, is to impose, in fact, some kind of, I don't know, to be forceful about it, to not come from benevolence again, and try to put, how they say, a square, whatever, something into a round hole. You can't do that. This version is entirely different. What you're doing in that scenario is you're forcing things. Rather than changing another person, you need to be changing yourself. So when you're coming, like, the witchcraft part of it feels very low vibrational, to be honest, because you screaming out to the universe that's like, I'm totally powerless without all of this mumbo jumbo. And I really feel like it's done out of desperation. That's it. It's done out of desperation. Again, whether that be you go to a practitioner, or I don't know, you're doing it somehow but on your own. Okay, it's not it's the result of your alignment is the magic spell. Okay, this is what I call the magic spell, the result of your unwillingness to feel powerless. Okay, that you understand that whatever you write down or whatever you utter becomes a magic spell automatically because of who you are. Okay, but because of your vibration, your energy, not because you mix this potion with that potion. You know what I mean? No. Two people can do the same exact shit, whatever ritual you have, let's just say, and one person will be coming from a desperation mode of like, help me, please, and the other person, I don't know, they will be just maybe even just sitting there. Don't need to involve all these potions and this and that. Because they know, again, the potion is in their mind. And the mechanics behind what that even represents, what you're even trying to achieve. So again, you really need to be mindful at the end of the day, like what kind of energy, in all honesty, right? You can't fool the universe. Okay, you can maybe fool a coach, fool a practitioner, fool whomever, but you can't fool the universe. You really need to start being very careful about the kind of energy that's coming out of you. With what intention are you sending this energy? You can do it completely clean, like I said, disturbing nobody, trespassing nobody's free will. And the results, most importantly, that you will get doing it this way, in the most ethical way that you can sleep very peacefully at night and not be afraid. Because like I said, if you're, darling, you don't want to go the witchcraft side. There's so many portals there that you don't even know the kind of fucking entities that live there that could potentially attach to you. It's a nightmare. Let me just tell you like this. Why? Because that's the frequency. That's the zoo. Okay? You want to be up here, but I'm so serious. This is the reality of 5D with the high level spiritual beings who are going to take you there in the easiest, most simplest way. And you don't need to harm anybody. In fact, again, it's best you never do that shit. But never do that shit. Even if the other person harmed you, you don't wish them ill. No, that you're frustrated with that person, I get it. But, listen, we can get into this discussion how everybody who shows up actually shows up with a gift for you, whether that's a nice person or not. Especially if they're not a nice person, they show up with goodies for you, of lessons, of upgrades, and all of that. So if you're coming off of the impression that you need to, again, to manipulate the situation and maneuver, you're in for a lot of trouble. I'm telling you this right now. So keep your energy clean. Be conscientious of what energy you're operating from. And if you really line up with the highest possible energy on that day and the second day and the third day to the best of your ability, you don't have to be this like genius superstar every single moment of the day, but Your destination, your goal needs to be, I'm vibing high. This is where I'm most powerful. And if I am vibing high, I don't want to fucking hurt anybody. That's the last thing I want to do. I want to go create shit. I want to go travel timelines. I want to, you know what I mean? This energy will create such magnetism in your life. You will hardly believe it. I mean, I'm telling you, forget all the fucking witchcraft in the entire motherfucking universe. Okay, I don't care how good of a witch you are or whatever the fuck. You're not that good. You're not as good as the higher beings and the higher self and the angel. You're not. You're just not. You know what I mean? You're an amateur is what it all comes down to, because you believe this is the only way you're gonna get something. And when I say that you're an amateur, I'm actually being kind. Because if you place the belief in some kind of a potion or some kind of a whatever, some kind of a ritual, you've already lost. Like I said, you've already lost. You're selling out because the magic is actually within you. Thank you very much for listening. Hopefully, this was helpful to you. All information from me is below. Until next time, ciao, ciao.